Hey, good morning, everyone. Mark Westcott here, tea and scones, and Mary Bacon. How are you, Mary?
I'm doing really well now that we've got all the technical issues out of the way.
I was wondering where you got to.
I know. I'm so not techie. It's terrible, isn't it?
No, that's all good. You look lovely this morning. Nice shirt you've got on there.
Yeah, yellow apparently is my color, so I thought, well,
Yep,
I'll just wear it to everything now. So,
that's good. Hey, look, lots of things to talk about today, and welcome back. You're on about this time last year, I think. So great to have you
yeah,
back again.
nice to be back. Thanks for having me on, Mark.
Well, let's just start by saying who you are and how famous you are. So you are a leading health and fitness coach, author, entrepreneur, and you love helping people who want to change their lifestyle and their outlook on life. And we're going to come back. Dare I say, we're going to circle back to that one. But you've got three separate businesses and three beautiful little grandchildren.
Yeah, the number three is like it's popping up, isn't it? I certainly do. Yes, I certainly do. I'm a busy little bee, and then the grandkids make you even busier.
No, that's right. You've got great little grandchildren, two great young girls, your own children, and then three
Yeah,
grandchildren. But let's
yeah.
start at the beginning before I tell everyone how famous you are now, is to start with you came out to Australia to make Australia a better place. Is that right? Is that why you're out here?
Something like that. My dad, I don't know if my dad looked at it that way, but it's really funny because you come into a country and you just don't know where that's going to lead. All my parents knew that it was going to be greener pastures, and it certainly has been that. And as I have evolved, I got married young and had kids young, and I had visions of going to university, and of course my parents were like, no, not really, and I was greatly discouraged by that. But however, the desire of the heart will just lead you
Yeah.
somewhere, and as I'm finding out, I'm connecting with people that um, that seek out my help and my services, and I am making a beautiful dent in the world, and it's really, really nice to feel that I'm contributing and helping people be healthier, fitter, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary, one of my friends from Sydney told me you were coming up. It was over a year ago now, wasn't it? You moved from Sydney and made it up here to Hope Island on the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
and that's been a big deal for you, hasn't it? But it also meant you were closer to your two girls. So I know you keep going back to, well, you have been
Yeah.
going back to Sydney, but occasionally. But
Yeah.
that's been a big change for you in your life.
Such a shift, such a shift. And I think COVID is so responsible for it. In my case, it's actually been a very positive move because I obviously, I had a fitness training business or personal training business and massaging in Sydney, and I had developed that over 20 years. And so I had a thriving business. I had a 6-figure income coming out of that business, plus my other two businesses. So I literally had to drop that and come to Gold Coast and look after my granddaughter and help my daughter out. So because she wants to go back to work. So it's been a shift, but I honestly, every day I look at my grandkids, and I look at this one particularly because I look after her 4 days a week, and it's surreal. I have to pinch myself and go, I'm a grandmother. I don't feel like a grandmother. Do I look like a grandmother? I don't even know the answer to those questions, but it is surreal. And I
Well,
can go for a coffee and still feel like I'm the mother of this child.
that's right. Yes, you don't look like a grandmother, but then look, I just want to I just want to show people a couple of things about you, if I may. So I'm hoping that I can get this to work. So you can tell me if this is coming out how it's
Oh,
supposed to.
yeah, you're very clever, Mark. I didn't even know
Is,
how to do this.
is this all? Is this full screen now? Is that?
That's full screen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So look, this is the header. I want to encourage people to follow you on Facebook, Mary. You post some fantastic stuff, and I mean, hats off to you, because one of the things you're doing right now is with the lockdown in Sydney. I mean, you're just such a beautiful, such a positive person. The first thing you did when Sydney locked down was say, okay, to all your friends down there, you're doing morning health routines, aren't you?
Yes.
Live Facebook videos for
Live workouts. That's right. I hadn't been on a podium and teaching aerobics for a long time, or any kind of workout really. And so I thought I'd throw myself out there. You know, it's nerve-wracking when you stand in front of 30 people or 50 people in a room, but when there's 2,000 followers and you don't know who's going to watch it, not going to watch it, who's going to judge, who's going to love or whatever, I just I actually don't mind whatever. I'm up for anything. So yeah, so I've been doing these workouts at 5:30 this morning. I did it. Yeah. Yesterday I did it. So it's fun.
No, fantastic. Look, I just want to, because I've set this up the way I have, I'll go through these slides first, then I'll come back and we'll look at you again. This is your book, Pregnant, Fit and Fabulous. So you wrote this some years ago now, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I was so passionate about women when they're having their babies, and I had done 10 years worth of research, and I cut it, I sliced it, I diced it, and I had in mind to really help women, but also help trainers in the field. And as it is now, I'm actually lecturing at an online forum next month. So that's to all fitness trainers. Well, probably globally, I would say. I'm not sure that it's just to Australia, but it's amazing. So grateful for that.
Oh, that's fantastic. But anyway, look, this is the some of the stuff with your book and packages you've done. But here's my. I saw this photo on Facebook the other day, and I hope it's okay that I posted this one up here this morning for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is your sister, isn't it? You and your sister.
Yeah, my sister, my younger sister.
So the point, the reason I put this up is this is Mary's daughter, and the photo of you two next to each other, you are so similar. It is scary, and I guess what I'm trying to get to here, if I can make it back and we can talk to each other again.
Yeah.
What I was getting at there was that you really have a passion for being your best self, and your passion with health, fitness, wellness, and all that sort of stuff. And you're forever doing challenges, and I've avoided them up till now. Maybe I'd better join you on one of these.
Come on, Mark. You only live down the road. I'll drive down to you.
That's right. That's right. I can't get away. But you're forever doing these health challenges, and I've got to admit, I really admire the commitment, the passion. You still eat well. You still love your food and do all that sort of stuff, but you really do take care of your health, and that photo of you and your daughter is just testament to the fact that you've really looked after yourself. And you know, for someone who's 83, you only look like you're 35, don't you?
Oh, I forgot hair.
No, you're not 83. I know you're not 83.
Oh my goodness. No, it's so funny because I love these challenges, and I think when people call me, look, I think this is what really touches my heart. When people call me and they say, Mary, I've just come back from the doctor, and they cry on the phone because they've just got, within 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but particularly in these 30-day challenges that I do, when their cholesterol drops, when their body balances out, when they're sleeping better, their stress levels are low. But when the doctor tells somebody that their blood results are so much better within these 30 days, I go, this is truly my calling, and this makes me feel good. But it's not about me. It's about the life of others. And this particular gentleman that I'm referring to right now, he's got a family, he's got a massive business, and, him and his wife are so in love. It's a beautiful family. And, you can have all the elements of that, and you can have all the money in the world. But, when your health is deteriorating, that's a real issue, and you can leave people behind that are going to miss you. So I always look at that, and I always sort of go like, yes, I'm going to continue with the challenges. And mothers, who have had one or two babies, who completely shrink back to their younger version of themselves. I mean, what better thing to do, really?
Absolutely. Now I'm going to ask you to go back, because you have an isogenics business as well, and you're obviously very successful at that. And I remember you telling me one other time the story of how you first got into that and the first person that you really were able to transform. Do you want to reflect on that story? Thanks. People would be really interested in, I think what drives you.
Yeah, I think oh gosh, it's been a few. So the journey of that really began with me being unwell, and a friend of mine rang me. I hadn't heard from her for 10 years, and she said, Mary, I've got this product, and it's cleansing, and it'll be good for your business. Well, I had just been bedridden for a whole month, and the last thing I wanted to hear about is business, because I was thinking that I don't know that I can even run my business at this rate, and I don't know that I can even lift a dumbbell. I couldn't even walk. So I had my bowel surgery, and it was really horrible and ghastly. Like I don't even like talking about bowel surgery, but it's bowel cancer month in June. And I think it's really important because just in the last week, 2 days ago, I heard one of my friends had polyps and it was cancerous, and he's not even 50. A cousin of mine overseas, he's 53, so he's my age, and died of colon cancer. And so with me, how that started, it really stirs me up, because I know in the emotional, physical pain that I was in. So when this friend called me, I was like, no, I'm not interested. What are these shakes, cleansing? I didn't understand. You're trying to sell me a product. My own programming was so bad that I almost missed it. And so I said to her, look, I'm 20 grand backwards in my bank account. I can't even afford this. So she says, when you gather some money, try it. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. Well, that kind of got me, because I thought I'll just get her off my back and I'll be done with her. But lo and behold, God was so amazing that I feel like it's a gift from above. And, within 2 weeks, I just felt my body was just like 20 years younger. I mean, where do you get that in 30 days?
Yeah.
Like all my insides started to talk to each other again. My brain was like, oh my goodness, I can work. I was so excited that I can actually work again. I mean, who gets excited about working? Most people want to retire. I didn't. I just wanted to work. I love my work. I am so passionate about people. I just love people. Even if I didn't get paid. The other day I had this really weird thought that I thought, like, I could clean houses because I love a clean house. And I thought, how would it be if I actually cleaned somebody's house? And they thought, like, that's just the cleaner there. And it's just like, but behind all that, I'm actually a millionaire, right? It's like, I make a lot of money from my other business, but you wouldn't know, because right now I'm just cleaning your house. Anyway, that side note. So how that all happened, I started to have these challenges, and then I was able to help people. And then a lady that was quite overweight, she got on the program, so they won a challenge with Isogenics. And then I had another guy who had a heart attack, and then I really helped him with that. So I seem to get either corporate people or even doctors and lawyers and all these corporate people that I love working with, because my mind just relates to that mindset and the fast pace and everything. So I think, that sort of buzzes me up, that really, really makes me tick, and I love it.
And of course, you started there, and that sort of has led you down a path of really helping a lot of people. You've helped a lot of people, haven't you, along the way since you started your Isogenic business and so on. And that must be really rewarding for you. It's I know it's not about the money for you. It's about what you can do to help people. So, which is really wonderful.
Totally. And, talking about the money, I actually give money away. So for these people that are entering the 30-day challenge, not July, but August, I will run another challenge where a winner within that 30 days will get $1,000. And $1,000 is a lot of money right now when COVID is happening, So one of the lady that won that, she lost 9 kilos in the 30 days post second baby. And she went and took her mom and her mother-in-law down at the Opera House, the restaurant, in
Wow.
there for lunch. And it ordinarily, how often would you go to the Opera House and have lunch there, and look at the beautiful harbour and, Sydney City. And then she still bought herself some new clothes and shoes and all that sort of stuff. So it was
Good on
something
her.
for her. And also she wanted to obviously treat her mum, both mums, in-law and mum. So
Yep.
I love giving. Yeah.
Yeah, Mary. Before you were talking about what happened when you came into the isogenics products and so on, but you were in training before then, weren't you?
I
Before you
did.
had your health issues and so on, which is
Yeah.
kind of ironic, being in the health industry and you ended up having a health problem. What got you into the health industry in the first instance? So when you were down there in Sydney, what was the one thing that sort of grabbed you and said, "Wow, this is my passion. This is what I want to do"?
I think back home in Macedonia, we lived behind this massive medical center. And my mum used to sew for all the doctors. So all the doctors were dressed by my mum because she used to design their clothes and make their dresses and everything. And so medicine really, intrigued me. And I thought I could potentially become a doctor. But my parents prevented me from going to university, and I couldn't go and study. They said, you are destined to be a wife and a mother, and you're going to clean your house and look after your husband.
Wow.
what kind of mentality is that, right? So I thought, okay, so I married young at 18. I married young and had children at 20 and 22. But then there was still desire in me that I actually wanted to do something with I don't know whether it was the medical or whether it was the health aspect, but health, obviously. And so, indirectly, I got steered back into this field. And it's
Yeah.
funny that I actually look after doctors. And, I've had a GP who I did one of the tests that I did during the session, and his heart was not doing a regular beat. And I said, we've got to stop this session. I said, you got to go to your cardiologist. So he went to the cardiologist, and I saved his life. Because his cardiologist said the ECG that I performed, I had this portable little ECG, and it was developed by doctors in Brisbane and the US. So
Yep.
I had this thing, and it was just like, wow. It's like, I'm not a doctor, but,
But you're not a doctor, but you can see that something was wrong.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So with the shutdowns and the move up here to the Gold Coast and so on, you actually have clients, customers all around Australia, don't you? In fact, probably around the world too, I think. So Zoom calls like this are sort of second nature for you, basically, aren't they? You're doing a lot of this.
It is. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm working. We're just talking on the phone. And in fact, when I was a young girl, my grandmother used to be a cleaner in this executive suites, and it was massive offices that she was cleaning. And I was just fascinated with the phone. And I used to go and sneak into the boardrooms and just pick up my phone and call my friend. And back in those days, not everybody had a phone. We didn't. So she smacked me one time. With the phone, she says, I told you not to touch the phones. And I've got a little scar to remind me of that phone call. She slapped me. She says, you're not supposed to use the phones.
That's why you love technology so much. Is that right?
Technology is not my thing. But talking is definitely, So
have a chat. That's right. But you do Zoom calls, and so you've got people over in Perth you deal with, haven't you? And
yes.
And as I say, what you're doing now for your Sydney friends in lockdown and so on,
yeah.
You're very good on on your Facebook posts, your Instagram posts, whatever. Do you use Instagram? I know I see you on Facebook anyway.
Yes, I do. I have 3 different Instagram accounts for different businesses. So yeah, keeps me busy.
Okay. But you're doing a lot of live. You're doing a lot of live stuff on Facebook now, certainly, aren't you? And you're finding that's working really well for you.
Yeah, I think, because there's people from everywhere, sometimes I got like, oh, where was that person from, but I do the lives, and I post different stuff all the time. I don't like being all about business, because people go, oh, it's all about business, they click through or they just pass it. I love posting my, workouts or exercise of the day or whatever it might be. Then I love posting stuff, sharing about my family and my grandchildren. Then I also Yeah, and then I also love cooking. So, you know, if I have something that I've cooked and it hasn't gone bad, I will post it. Sometimes things don't work out, you know. Even Nigella has bad days. But yeah, I just love my food. I share it.
Well, that's the interesting thing with you. I mean, you post these photos of your sort of washboard stomach and your level of fitness that you have, and the next minute you're posting photos of these feasts, and I think, wow, how can you eat all that stuff and it still look fabulous? But you've managed to juggle it very well. You have a good balance.
Yeah,
And,
thank you.
and
Well,
you eat good stuff.
yeah, I am eating good stuff. I love good stuff. But it's also isogenics. You know, people go like, "Oh, but if you eat clean, you'll be fine." And I go like, "Yeah, you know, you can eat clean, but you know, look, the you know, it's a personal opinion, but I think, you know, I have experienced what I have experienced, and I have healed my gut, and you know, inflammation that most 50 plus women get, and sore knees or hips or anything, you know, menopausal stages. I have not got any of that, and you know, things have happened naturally, but I haven't suffered with any of that. And
Yeah,
so how grateful am I to wake up in the morning and just go like, I feel good. I know there's a lot of, you know, stuff happening around the world, but I feel good, and I think more people need to feel good. There's always going to be sadness around the world, you know.
sure, sure. It's interesting, Mary. I was talking last night as we were heading down to have a roast dinner with a couple of friends of mine. We were talking about how they brought up how important gut health is,
Yeah,
and that's a big part of, I guess, what you do with your customers with isogenics
yeah.
and so on. Very much being that the gut is kind of the center of the universe, and more people are starting to understand that. Is that what you're focusing on with the supplements and so on that you help people with?
Yeah, totally. Totally. 100%. I feel that, you know, when I have these challenges and I really educate people on eating right and what to avoid, just to really jumpstart their body again, just to really go into that um, you know, rebuild, because we do so much damage to ourselves. And I obviously
Yeah.
ate really healthy. I trained a lot when I was younger, before isogenics, and I think the stress levels and the coffee really ruined my gut. So stress can really wipe you out, and then coffee on top of it creates a lot of acidity in your gut. So if you have that, you know that, you know, later on you're going to, and also the acidity in your
Mm.
joints, that it's just really makes you, or it did for me anyway. So the gut health is really, really important, and it's not always about acidophilus, or it's not always about metamucil. There's so many elements to the digestive system, and you know, as we get older, our digestive enzymes don't get produced, and how
Mm.
we put food or how we supplement is really, really important. So going from, it's almost like having four pillars. You know, if you look at your chair, when you got your four, you know, pillars there, if one is unstable, then
Mm.
you get the wobbles. So also in the gut, you know, you've got your mouth, you got your esophagus, you got your stomach, you got your small intestines, you got your large intestines. And if any of those sections are not quite functioning properly, you're going to get in trouble sooner or later. And
Yeah.
more people are getting into trouble, and you know, it's scary. It's really
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. Hey, when you wrote that book in regard to pregnant and fabulous, whichever order they were in, and I see
Fit and fabulous.
someone changed those words around and hadn't. When I was googling before to get that photo of your book, I see another lady actually change those words around, and she had some sort of book or campaign stealing your words.
Oh,
She just she just rearranged them.
I know. Tell me about it. Well, it's yeah. Anyway, sorry. What was
But
your
no, look,
question?
where I was going with that was one. I think there's another book in the wings, I believe. So I'm not sure how far down the track you are with that after I spoke to you last year. But also that led you on to TV shows. I mean, you're famous around Australia, aren't you? You
Don't
were
say
in,
that.
you were interviewed on Good Morning Australia or some such thing, weren't you?
Oh, honestly, I went on the show and David Campbell on Channel 9, he said to me, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "No." I just sat there going, I'm just like, I might as well talk to David Campbell. Like, I don't get faced by cameras. But no, look, honestly, I think it was just getting the message out about the book, and all this famous stuff doesn't really famous. I don't know what that even means, and it really, it draws people to watch you closer and judge you. Who wants that? I don't think anybody wants that, So,
Hey, so tell me about the next book, though. Tell me about the next book.
oh, the next book, it's called Seduction of Inadequacy. And of course, the more we are on social media, the more famous we are. We can get sucked in,
Absolutely.
by people in the world who have got more followers and who have got more things, and how they present themselves and all this sort of stuff. And it's hogwash. So
Yes.
I really want to pull women out in particular from feeling inadequate and from feeling useless, worthless, and shameless and shameful, all that. So yeah, it's a sad world we live in, and I think people have to display their flesh to draw attention to themselves rather than who authentically they are from their heart and from their being and from their character and everything. So that's what the book is about. And my website, my new website is ready to go live, the marybacon.com, but my website developer, she had to go to hospital. She had skin cancer and she had stitches all in her head. So that was supposed to go live 2 weeks ago, but we haven't gone live because she hasn't been well. But there'll be a lot of stuff on the marybacon.com website, whether it's food and all that sort of stuff. So we're evolving. I don't get stressed. That's the key for me. I just avoid stress at all cost. And if I'm going to do something, I want to enjoy doing it. And if I'm going to be with the kids, then I love it and cook a storm for them. If I'm going to be in a business meeting, then I'm fully, engaged in that. If I get pulled to do something overseas or whatever, then I love that as well. So yeah, I'm just loving the season. Season's good.
Absolutely. And the great thing is, Mary, you're always, whatever you're doing, and you just said it then, you're always present and engaged in the moment. And that's such a great trait. So before we sign off, because time's up today, but have you got your grandchild with you there today, or?
No, she's in the office. She's at Southport, so I've got to go and pick her up now. And as we were talking, my daughter was just like, "What time will you be here again?" They're great. No, we work really well together, and if I have calls or something like that, and that's why I get up at 3:00 in the morning, because I can get a lot of stuff done early on. And it's 10 a.m. now. I feel like it's 2:00, or I've got so much time.
Halfway through.
It's good.
Hey, Mary, thanks for coming on again. marybacon.com for anyone that's watching, and the book that you have written. I'm looking forward to the next one. We've talked about this, and I'm not sure how far away it is, but it doesn't matter. You're making progress on it. So that's the main thing. So
thank you,
Mary, thanks again for your time today, and you have a great day. It's really great to chat with you again.
Thank you. Likewise, Mike. Thanks for having me on. Okay, we'll talk soon. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.